Morning, everyone. Hi. Morning. Hi, Bella.
Hi.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Hi, Renee. Hi, Ezra. Hi, Vicky. So we're just waiting for a few more people to come, and Shikoh is on standby. Hi. Hi, Decca. Mm, Hi, Renee. Hi, Renee. Hello. I see you on screen and then you disappeared. Mm, Emma, if you could switch on your mic just for me to know you can hear me. Hello? Why can't I hear anybody else? Emma, the mic is at the bottom of your screen. It's on the bottom left. Let me just call Shikoh. Hi, Shikoh. I see you on screen. I've invited you. Oh, okay, sawa. Hi, Ezra.
Hi, Cynthia.
So since you were the first one on screen,
Yeah.
maybe you can just explain to the other participants where they can see the mic and the video.
Wow. Okay. So I actually joined on phone.
Yeah,
Uh,
so if you're using your phone, where do you see your mic?
so if you're on your phone, just tap the screen. Then you will see an arrow pointing down. Just on top, at the top, you'll see an arrow pointing down. You'll see a picture of Cynthia, written Cynthia Nafula, and then there are three dots. Uh, click the three dots, and then you'll see either mute volume or unmute volume. Yeah.
Did everyone get that? Okay. Just a few minutes. So guys, Shikoh is on standby. She's just trying to log in. So we'll give it just a few more seconds. Has everybody been able to locate their mic and camera? If you have, please just comment over there. Renee, using your phone or your laptop? Okay, at least I can be heard. So who's using their laptop? So Tracy also can't locate her mic. Renee can't locate her mic. So Ezra, you can just explain where you can get your mic and camera using your phone. Just a minute, guys. Ezra is explaining again.
Okay, so if you're connecting through your phone, when you tap the screen, you'll see an arrow pointing to the bottom. So click on that arrow, and you'll see 3 dots on your left. Sorry, on your right, you'll see 3 dots. Click on those 3 dots, either mute volume or unmute volume. But Cynthia, what I'm thinking is, I think this only allows, it's only for people, someone can only talk if they've been given access to, like, I don't know if it's something that can be done from your end.
If they've been given access to?
Like, you could only hear me when you invited me to, like, the screen.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's so Shikoh has accepted. Just a minute. So should I invite everybody on screen
Yeah.
for them to get a prompt?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Hi guys. So I'm going to invite each of you on screen. So what's going to happen is that you'll get a prompt to accept the use of your microphone and the use of your camera. So please just accept and then you'll be able to access it. Okay. So Shikoh is here. Guys, so please accept coming on screen so that I can assist you. Okay, so I'll start with Vicky. Vicky, are you there? So did you get a prompt? Just accept both the use of your mic and the use of your camera, and then you'll be able to appear on screen like Ezra. Can you access your mic and camera? So I'm going to invite everyone. Oh, Emma, if you're using your laptop, just click on the screen and then you'll see a drop down of the mic and the camera. That's if you're using a laptop. So let me invite everyone. Vicky, I can't hear you. Oh no. Okay. Vicky, I can't hear you. You need to come on screen. So if you've gotten a prompt on your phone or your laptop, just accept. Vicky, I can't hear you still. So I'm inviting everyone on screen. Let me know. Please comment on the chat box there. Let me know if you've gotten a prompt. Emma, I see you. Okay, so you're making some progress. Okay, Vicky is logging out, then she'll log back in. So Emma, I see your screen. Tracy, I see your screen. Okay, so we're making headway. Hi, Shikoh. So I see on WhatsApp. Okay, let me see. Oh, it says that you already denied access from this browser. Can you try logging out first? Yeah, just log out and then try logging back in, and then allow the browser to if you get like a notification saying allow or deny. Mm-hmm. Okay, just try logging out first. Yeah. Renee, if you're using your phone, just tap on the screen. Then you'll see the mic appear. Yes, if you're using your laptop, just tap on the screen again, click on the screen. Then you'll see the drop down of the camera, the video, and screen share. You'll see something like that. Then just do what you need to do. So guys, just check your connection. Okay. Hi, Eve. Hi. Sorry, we're just waiting for Shikoh to for Shikoh. Okay. Sorry guys, this always happens in any live meeting. Tebet, can you hear me? Hmm. Okay, guys, so Daisy can hear me. So we are just waiting for Shikoh. Tibet can hear me. Okay, perfect. Shikoh, any headway? Okay, Renee, I see you've been able to connect.
Can you hear me though?
Yes, I can hear you, Renee.
All right, thanks.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you can hear me, that's good. Vicky, are you there? Annette can hear me. Okay, good. Okay, so we are almost there. Just to be patient, a little patient. It's day one. Tomorrow will be easier. Okay. So let me just talk to Shikoh. Hi guys, meanwhile, there's a poll down there. If you're using your laptop, it's at the bottom of your screen. You'll be able to see ask a question, polls, and people. So just go to the poll and then vote. I can see 6 votes already. No, 8 votes actually. So just vote how you're feeling today. Okay, so who isn't on screen? So Vicky, I see you're not on screen. And guys, if you can't hear me, just let me know. Okay, so Vicky, I see you. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Cynthia. How are you?
Fine. You know, the good thing about Corona is that I'm learning how to use all this technology and all that. I really like Crowdcast because it's very interactive compared to Zoom.
True.
Yeah, so let's see how it goes. We have enough time, in as much as we've had challenges, so we have enough time to spare.
All right. Looking forward.
Yeah, okay. So Shikoh, we're just waiting on Shikoh. I think just one person and Shikoh still haven't been able to access. Okay, so Abukayo, you're there? Oh, Shikoh is there. Yay!
Finally.
Finally! Yay! So just give me a second. Let me remove Vicky on screen. Yeah, perfect. You can hear me clearly, Shikoh?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Guys, don't mind. I have two laptops, so I can see what you're seeing. So that's why I keep turning. So how are you today?
So I'm well, and really apologies. My phone is tapped, so I've been trying to. I don't know why I'm getting echo back.
Yeah, there is an echo. Maybe try move to a quiet place. Are
I'm
you?
actually in a very quiet place. I'm alone.
Okay. One minute,
Shortly,
guys.
shortly, shortly.
Okay, guys. So there's an echo on Chico's screen. Wow. Yeah, guys, I can hear the echo too. Chico, are you there? Guys, I am trusting that everyone has been able to access their microphone and camera. So there's a poll at the bottom of your screen. Just tap on the screen whether you're using your laptop or your phone, and you'll be able to see the poll. Okay, Chico is back.
Mic is still.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it better now? Yeah, so I hear there's still an echo.
There's still an echo.
Yeah. Can you move to a quiet room? Like a room with walls?
I'm literally outside alone.
Okay, guys. So I think we'll have to bear with all this. Yeah. Okay, it's tech. Okay, guys.
Tech is difficult, trust you me.
Yeah, it is. So, guys, hi. Thank you for joining the session today. In as much as we've had technological challenges, it always happens. Yeah, but now we are here. Thank you so much for signing up. As you all know, this is sort of a masterclass. It's a 1 week session with young people to understand how you can use digital platforms for social good. So our first speaker of the day is Shikoh. And what I was hoping is that we could start with a little introduction. I see 15 of us are live on screen. 15 of us, because there's a speaking sound. If you can all switch off your mics, please. Just all switch off your mic unless you're speaking. Unless you're speaking, just switch off your mic. Yeah, so I was just saying Shikoh is our first speaker of the day. And I don't know where you guys are, but I was really hoping we could start with an introduction. A little, like a 5-minute introduction from all of us. Do you guys have your pens and paper or something like that on the side? Chico, there's a screeching sound.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like having to go through a series of changing stuff. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay.
So I had planned that we start with an introduction from everyone. Shikoh, are you okay if we start with the introduction first, or do you need to speak first? Okay. She's left the screen. Okay, guys, so we'll start with an introduction. Do you guys have a pen and paper on the side? Just switch on your mic and tell me if you have a pen or paper on the side, or put it there in the chat box. Okay, so Ezra, Vicky, you have one. So what we are going to do, we are going to take 2 minutes. Yes, Daisy does, Vicky does, Ezra does. Yes, perfect. So we'll start with a 10 to 15 or 10-minute introduction from all of you, because we all don't know each other. So I think it would be helpful if we all know each other. So we'll do a little activity. If you don't have a pen and paper on the side, you can just put it in your mind. So you guys are going to write a series of numbers and letters which represent a set of interesting facts about yourself. So for example, like for me, mine is 1995, 24Y, 3B, 2W. So basically that means I was born in 1995. I'm 24 years old. I have 3 brothers and I've been working for 2 years. You guys get the gist of it? Daisy, did you get the gist? Okay. Rosemary, do you get the gist? Hi, Rosemary. Okay, you all get it. Perfect. So we'll take a minute or two just for you to write down or come up with a series of numbers. It could be anything. Yeah, so can we take a minute to do that? Let me know if you're having any challenges. Just write on the chat box there. Okay, guys, so I'm also going to type that just so that you see. 1995, 24Y, 3B, 2W. Okay, so if you can see on the chat box, I've written 1995, 24Y, 3B, 2W. So that means I was born in 1995. I'm 24 years old. I have 3 brothers, and I've been working for 2 years. Yeah, so I'll give you a minute to do that. It's 10:35. If you can do that by 10:37, and then each of us will be on screen, and then you'll get to share. Okay, so 2 minutes. Let's go. Okay, guys. So I hope you've been able to do that. So what we're going to do, don't worry if you've lost access to the screen. I just had to remove people so that Shikoh could access the screen. So meanwhile, as we wait for her to come back, you guys can just put it there on the chat. You don't have to write what I've written. You can just come up with a series of numbers and letters that people don't know. Yeah. So since Renee was the first one, we'll just start with her so that you guys are able to see what's going on. So Renee, I'm going to invite you on screen. Okay, Ezra. Okay, guys, stop commenting first. Just hold on, stop commenting. So the idea was for you guys to put a series of numbers and letters that people don't know about you. So it doesn't have to be your birth year or the number of siblings that you have. It can be anything. It can be anything. Just guess anything that represents. Yes. Emma, if you the task is for you to come up with a series of numbers and letters to introduce yourself. So it has to be something that people don't know about you because we don't know each other in this group. So come up with anything that people don't know about you. Yeah? So meanwhile, as we do that, I'm going to start inviting a few people to start speaking. So Renee, I'm going to start with you. I'll invite you on screen. Okay. I hope you all got the instructions. Hi, Renee.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, fine.
You know, I was away for a while. I didn't get the instructions.
Okay. So guys, don't put the series of numbers and letters on the chat box. So the idea is for you to come up with it on pen, using a pen and a paper, or in your mind, depending on where you are. And then
Okay.
I'll invite you on screen, and then people have to guess. Yeah.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
people have to guess, but since you already put it in the chat box, you
Uh-huh.
just go fast and just say a little bit about yourself using the
Okay.
letters and the numbers. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, hi guys. My name is Maureen, and born 96, as you can see, 24 years old, one brother, and have been working for 2 years. I'm going to reach 2 years in July, and I've been working in HR industry in the hospitality sector. So,
Yay.
yeah.
And what are you looking forward to achieve this week?
Well, I really want to know how to be more than, like I think in society currently we're so into just your own, what you've been told, go to school, get a job, but then are
Yeah.
you really making an impact with your 9 to 5? Are you really, what else can you do apart from that for the things that you're passionate about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as I can see, we have some people who
Mhm.
are gonna be speaking who have done that, and that is actually what I'm hoping to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Renee.
You're welcome.
So Ezra, I'm going to invite you next on screen. And then Ezra, now you'll have to pick someone. Okay. So Ezra, it's your turn.
You can hear me?
Yes, I hear you clearly.
Okay. 98 born, as you can see there, 22 years. 2F. Number 2 is my favorite number.
Oh.
Yeah. I am a third born, and yeah, I've been working for about 3 years now.
Wow. And what are you looking forward to achieve this week?
So in my work, we mainly work with young people, educate them about the SDGs, of course. And so digital platforms has been an avenue to capture their attention. And digital platforms is ever growing and ever evolving. So it will be really great to, learn and understand from masters like you, how to, continue reaching young people. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Emma will go next. Guys, don't write your numbers and letters on the chat box. Please don't write. Okay, Emma, I'm going to invite you on screen, and then you can just tell us what the numbers represent. Okay, so guys, I hope you're now getting the gist of it. Hi, Emma. Okay, so just a little introduction about you. Who is Emma?
Okay, my voice is a little bit sore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 21 years old. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother, and I'm also the founder of Towards a Better Earth Initiative, and also an upcoming platform called EYS that seeks to engage youth who want to delve into sustainable business.
Yay! And guys, just so you know, I just published Emma's story yesterday. At the bottom of your screen, there's a call to action for you to read the stories of young change makers in Africa. So if you click on that button later on, you'll be able to see all the stories that are featured. Okay, so Emma, invite someone to come on screen. You can choose anyone. Emma, you there? Emma? Okay, Ezra has already spoken, so you have to choose someone else. Ezra has already talked. Vicky, you're next.
Hi, Cynthia. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Vicky.
Okay. So I'm 22 years old. I've been actively involved in the SDG space for about 4 years.
Yeah.
I have 2 siblings, 1 brother and 1 sister. And then in 2 years, I hope to have officially registered and scaled up my foundation.
Yay! What's the name of your foundation?
This whole week, I really want to know how to use. It's called Temaridi Foundation, and the aim of that is really to work with youth in the counties in terms of sports, mentorship, and really, especially now with women, young women who are upcoming, to really teach them to be leaders, to believe in themselves, and to be agents of change. So, yeah, from this whole sessions that will be going on this week, I really want to learn how to use digital platforms for social good, as is the title, but really see how actively the lessons I can learn here, I can transfer these lessons to others. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to invite someone on screen, and they have to tell us their numbers and letters.
Okay, let me see who hasn't come yet. I think Tracy.
Tracy. Okay. So Tracy,
All right.
Tracy, you'll be able to access the screen. Okay. So Tracy, you have to tell us your series of numbers and letters.
Hi guys.
Hi Tracy.
Born 1995,
Mm-hmm.
24 years old, 3 siblings,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been working for at least 2 years
Mm-hmm.
in the civil sector.
Mm-hmm.
I have a community-based organization. I'm working on mental health care awareness and empowerment. Empowerment in terms of gender equality, feminism, culture conversations, and projects. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, still reminding you of the call to action at the bottom of your screen. Tracy is also on the blog, so make sure you go read her story. So Tracy, you have to pick someone. Guys, the next person has to give us a series of numbers and letters.
Yeah. Uh, Daisy.
Who?
Daisy.
Okay, Daisy, you're up next. Daisy, you're up next.
Oh my God. But
Hi, Daisy.
Hi. I am preparing for my exam, so I'm so sorry.
Yes, I remember you told me. Thank you for making it to the session.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 2016, 3Y, 2S, 1B,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and 10. So 2016 is the year that I finished high school. I'm on my third year in university. I have 2 sisters, one brother, and I've been writing for the last 10 years. Yes.
10 years. Oh, 10 years is a long time.
I
I
was
haven't
learning
been
to
writing
write.
that long.
I was learning to write, not. So yeah, I've not been working. I realized everyone is working here, but I've not been working. But I participate in MUN, so I am planning to branch out into learning about the SDGs and focusing on those. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So just
Thank-
invite the next person.
Okay. Let's see who hasn't. Okay. Has Annette
No,
participated?
no, not
Yes.
yet. So
Annette should
Annette,
go.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Annette. Are you there, Annette? Okay, she's there. I see she's there. Okay, Annette, I see you're still connecting. Okay, I see you're still connecting. So let me just invite Dekra on screen meanwhile. Dekra, are you there? Just accept the invite. Okay, not yet. Okay, Chebet, is someone loading? Okay, Chebet, I'll invite you on screen then. Judith, please just accept the invite on screen so that you can speak. Okay, Chebet is accepting. Chebet, you've rejected. You've rejected my invite. Let me invite you again. Tracy, I don't know why you can't hear or see me. I'm not sure why. Okay, Eve, do you want to go next? Evelyn Wandeto? Okay, meanwhile, so I'm going to read out Bella's intro. So, oh, okay. Okay, so we'll go with Eve. Eve, hi. A little intro. Eve, we can't hear you. Just move closer to the mic.
And right now?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay. So my numbers and letters are 56H, 3C, 2019I, and yeah. So I'm 5'6" in height. I'm the third child out of 3, and 2019 was the most amazing year of my life, I think. Yeah.
Why?
I think it's the moment I truly learned the most about myself and how I operate, what things are of interest to me, and how to earn and to strengthen my voice for myself.
Oh, wow. And are you looking forward to the session with Shikoh today?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to learn and unlearn a lot of things. Yeah, especially in this space of social services, as in it's a space where you need to learn and unlearn constantly and constantly and constantly, because otherwise there is no impact that you're able to make. That's what I think. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, guys. I don't know why Tracy and Daisy can't see anything. Okay, guys, I'm going to read out Bella's intro. She's called Bella Mine. Hers is DOTMH24Y 1FCJ254. Wow, that's complicated. Okay, Daisy, I see you can now access the screen. Okay, so hers is, she's a daughter of the Most High. She's 24 years old. She will be the first female Chief Justice of Kenya. Yay, Bella, we believe in you. Yes. And she says if she's not able to log back in, we'll share the recordings with her. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Chebet, do you want to go next now? Wait, where's Chebet? Okay. Is there anyone who hasn't introduced themselves? Dekra? Dekra, are you there? Just so that we can let Shikoh start speaking. Dekra. Okay, is there anyone who's missing? Someone who hasn't introduced themselves? Anyone? Okay, so we'll invite Shikoh on screen then. Chebet? Okay, guys, so we'll start with Shikoh. If you haven't been able to introduce yourself, I'll give you a chance just so that we don't spend too much time Okay, Daisy can see. Okay, so Shikoh, I'll introduce you on screen just so that you can start talking on how to find your course. Hi, Shikoh.
Hey, can you hear me now? I think my phone
Yes.
has been messing me up the whole time.
Sorry, I totally understand. It happens.
Okay, so I'm really sorry. I think I'm the first one to cause delays here with these technology problems,
We understand.
but I'm actually awed by the amazing brains you have here. Um,
Mhm.
I know, to introduce myself again, my name is Shikoh. I just turned 27 people. I'm just so happy.
Yay.
Um, I run a young, not really, it's not young anymore. So I run an organization called Tribeless Youth and our new baby called Ubuntu Creative Space. Um, I've been in the social justice space for the last 4 years, 4.5 years now. And I started, was it four? I think 4, 5, because I started way back when I was 23 years, yeah. And it's been a journey, it's been a challenge. And being a mom at 19 was also a whole different challenge for me. But I'm glad that I'm able to talk to young people who are interested in the same space or are working towards the same space. So in with the theme that Cynthia has sent, finding your course, I want to also turn it to sound like finding your space in the social media spaces or the digital platforms that we have for communication. Um, One, it's not easy. That I will not guarantee you. It's not easy. But finding you and at a young age gives you the credibility to actually pursue and push for something. But then I just don't find you if you don't find your passion. So it needs to start from your passion. And I would have wished like it can be an engagement sort of a thing. I like learning and unlearning at the same time. So I will also open up to maybe questions or interjections where someone feels like there's something missing or there's something they've not gotten, like as we go. So I hope that's okay, Cynthia.
Yes, Shikoh, you can, people can ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
You can use there's at the bottom of your screen, there's ask a
The,
question
the,
button there.
okay.
Yeah, and Shikoh, I see you have to leave at 11:30. So
Yeah, I have another mad meeting that I was preparing for, but it's okay. I'll see how to juggle this. So that's why I'm
yes,
saying like it's open. If you feel like you have a question, you can drop them in as early as now so that I'm able to answer as I go. Is that okay?
yes, yes.
So I'll do this in form of a story. I'll share my own story, so maybe this will somehow uh, inspire someone or directly answer some questions. So I joined the social media spaces back in 2011. I never knew the power of social media, so I used my social media for posting photos, making friends, and all those things that we do with our social media platforms. Then somewhere in 2016, I found myself. I started learning about the history of Kenya. I started learning about the things that happened in 2007, 2008. And for some reason, I never knew that I was so passionate about this. So when I started reading about the IDP camps that are here, the ICC process, I know most of us can either read about it because I'm sure you people are very young when that was happening. I was at least maybe I was still in primary school, I think so, when 2007 to 8 was happening. So I can bet so many of us never witnessed it. And I remember the only image I had at the back of my head was the day we went to pick my nieces and my nephews with my mom, and we met like 10 men carrying someone's head in their hands. That is the only photo I remembered of 2007, 2008. And I really wanted to know what happened. So I began the journey of Tribeless Youth. Tribeless youth not meaning that you people need to abandon your tribes or you need to, say you don't belong to any tribe. We all belong to tribes, which we never chose. Like by default, we were born in specific tribes. But there is a way we can discuss our issues and fight for our cause without really looking at what tribes we come from. Because before tribes, we are Kenyans. Before tribes, we are youth. Before tribes, we are human. And then tribes follows way later. So I began the journey with a group of young people, most of them my age. I think I've seen Marcus here. Marcus is part of the people we began the journey with. When we began the journey, we used to wake up at 5 a.m. And every Thursday at 5 a.m., we used to just feel ourselves on Twitter and fill people in on what we think and what we feel. And I think this is how we grew a generation of fearless young people who can actually speak. I know we still have our WhatsApp group that is full of very opinionated people, like whoever you are, whatever you say, as long as someone has an opinion, they feel like they need to say it, which I'm proud of for that, At the same time, when I was doing this, I never knew what I wanted to do. And that was the most unfortunate part for me, because I had to go so much and then take a break and reflect. And then I realized I really want to work with the youth. I did not want to speak for the youth. I did not want to be the voice of the youth, but I wanted to work with the youth so that they can all find their voices and we can have as many voices as possible. And till today, I believe that the biggest mistake we've done, and especially in the youth space, is trying to speak for the youth. We cannot have similar opinions. We cannot have similar voices, but we can speak together towards something. We can work together. We can work with the youth, but not speak for them. Because at the same time, most of us speak from the point of privilege. We have so many sectors of youth. We have the LGBTQ. We have the marginalized youth. And we actually have there's the whole lot of privileged youth who don't understand what we talk about, So the moment you start taking this journey, the moment you start working with people, then you realize actually humanity is a full course. And this is how I changed so many things. And unfortunately, people think having an organization only means having it registered, having it doing, but we don't look at the humanity part of it. Because the moment we lose the human touch and the moment we lose the need to actually work with people and serve the people we serve, then the biggest thing that happens next is we lose focus and track of where we're going. And I like the way someone said here that in the journey that we are walking, it's important to learn and unlearn. It's true. As you find your course, you need to learn so many things and you have to unlearn some things. Because in the same space, we have toxic things that we learn and we need to unlearn them as we move, So it's I don't know. I don't know how to put this, but I'm just trying to think how I can, because I think it's a jungle that we all try to learn, and there's no perfect teacher for this. So we are all trying to find our course. We are all trying to find our voice, but as we find it, we learn so many things, and as we find it, there's something I call not really publicity, but I don't want to say being a celebrity, quote unquote, or something, but every time where you think that people actually know you and it gets into your head and you start believing that nobody can tell you anything, you've been in this space, that is one thing that really affects us as young people. And I'm glad that I found so many people. I've seen Mary Liz here. Mary Liz is an amazing feminist, and I'm glad that I've worked with her, because through her, I've learned so many things. Through her, I've seen the struggle of a powerful woman coming out and accepting that I can actually learn and fight for my own space, and this helps. This gives us a perspective that so many people won't give us. This gives us, as youth, the privilege to understand that we still have time, but unfortunately, youth is transitional. So what happens is, you start the journey. I started at 23. I've had so many people saying, oh, I'm 24. I started working 2 years ago. And literally on that of this month, I sat down and reflected, and I was like, oh my God, I'm 27. I'm exiting the youthhood now. I'm literally marching towards my 35. And when I'm 35, trust you me, I don't want to speak with the youth anymore. I want to move to the next generation. I want to have mentored so many other people who can start doing the job with the youth, you know. So youth is like fire. It just burns very high and at the same time goes low very fast. So it's a time we have that we are energetic enough, that we have the space to actually feel like we are the most creative people, trust you me. And we are the best generation who are born between two generations. We were born between the generation of not knowing internet and the generation that welcomed internet. And we're there. Like, we need to take those things we call the oldies, we need to learn from them. That is our history and it's part of us. I've had someone saying that she's working on culture. I love culture. Ubuntu is all about culture. But there is one thing we do. We give room to so many voices that we forget where we're going. So I think the most important thing as you're finding your voice is to just see it reflect, understand who you are, go for who you are. Do not do something because it's being done. Do not do something because, and I'm sorry to say this, there's donor funding. Do not do this because some organization, I don't know, UN or whoever will call you to speak there and do what. All these things happen and you get so many, you will sit in so many places. But as long as you have not found your voice yet or your cause or why you're actually doing it, the best that can happen is you will get somewhere and then it won't mean anything to you. So it has to start from home. And when I started, I said, I am a young mom. And for me to find my voice, I keep looking at my son. My son is, I tell him he's a baby activist who's coming up. He's 6 and he questions everything that comes his way. And sometimes we'll just be having conversations and he'll be like, our kids are allowed to protest. And I'm like, yes, they are. And he's like, why do people protest? And I'm like, these are questions that we never ask ourselves also as grown-up people. We don't sit down and ask ourselves, why do we go for protests? Some of us just march in, some of us just go. And it's sad that sometimes as a young person, we are privileged but not privileged. You might be marching and there are people who are actually blocking you. There are people who don't want you to come up because you will mess up their voices or their channels of income. So it is a journey that we all need to walk together and march together. At the end of the day, we are the majority. I want to, I know I speak too fast, so if I'm going too fast, please stop me. So I will read these 2 questions, and then one says, do you try many things before you found? Yes, I tried so many things. I worked in a supermarket for several years. No, for 1 or 2 years. 1 year, I worked as a brand ambassador for specific products for like 5 years. I started working at 17 years. So you can imagine I was in and out of promotions, and then I got a job at Naiva supermarkets. I stayed there for 1 year. It was not enough for me. I left. I worked with Safaricom. I did a lot of branding for them and promotions for them. I left. I worked when Blaze, again, I went back to Safaricom when Blaze came in. I then left. So I tried so many things before I found me. And I remember when I left my job at Naivas, I decided I'm not going to be employed again until I figure out who I am. Because what happened is I would work towards money and then I'll get to a point and I'm not passionate enough to even start working. So I used to go to work. Normally in a supermarket, you get in before 8 so that when they're reopening, you guys have done your meetings, have set up and everything. But I used to go to work at 1 p.m. and I would leave at 3 p.m. Because for me, it meant nothing completely. And then I went to this one meeting. You people know Ban Plastic KE. Ban Plastic KE started in Nakuru way back in 2016. And when I met this group of people and I attended their first meeting, I was the only female around. And I was the only one who was asking so many questions, because at the end of the day, I was working in a supermarket. I'm doing a lot of branding, and the new people are telling me that we need to ban plastics. I need to figure out then how does my future look like. And from there, I felt the love towards this. I wanted to question so many things. I wanted to start talking about the injustices that I'm seeing around me. I wanted to question why Nakuru County, as they're saying, and they want to make it a city, doesn't have drainage. I wanted to have this conversation, and I built a community from there. We started meeting with young people. After work, we would meet at a place called Nyayo Garden, which is actually gagged right now. We would sit down and just like have an hour conversation, like a picnic sort of conversation, and we'll talk about the injustices, we'll talk about humanity, we'll talk about corruption, integrity as a whole in leadership. And that is how this became a passion for me. I started doing it full time. Instead of going to work, I'll just go to town and just sit with street kids and have conversations with them. That is what. So the journey is not smooth, trust you me. And even after trying Tribeless Youth for me was like, this is what I'm doing fully. But at the same time, I need to find something that feeds and pays for my son's bills. So I still had to hustle out and look at different things. I literally did so many things. I don't even know how I came to stop. But till today, I'm a jack of all trades. I'm still in marketing. I still do Tribeless Youth, but Tribeless Youth is me, and this is where my passion is, and this is where my voice is. The next question is, kindly, how do you get to choose the people you wanted to start or work with? Doing it alone is a little bit crazy. Yes, that I agree. And finding passionate people about is difficult. Sometimes the people you find can actually lock you behind. Yeah, I agree. So what I did when I was starting Tribeless Youth, and as the question states, working alone is crazy. And I remember the first person I shared the idea with was if you guys have been on Twitter, you know Maskani ya Taifa. So I joined Maskani ya Taifa. When I joined Maskani ya Taifa, I met a community. I found people who are willing to assist. And then I spoke to a friend of mine who I met through literally a late friend of a mutual friend. So we met at the burial and we had a whole conversation. And he became one of the people who are like pillars. So he became my designer, and he would like listen to my ideas and just draw them in graphics and share them with me. And by then I only had 200 followers. Don't forget that. So I was literally on zero impact. Then I met this community online. I was in several groups, online groups, because I was still young and I was feeling like, oh, this is the world where you just meet people and just talk. And I just shared my idea with them. Those who are willing to support actually woke us early on Thursday to go for that chat. So for me, it was just to be like one single chat on one Thursday, and then we are done. And then we did that chat, and it was top trending for 2 days. Then the next thing we got is people asking us, are we doing this every Thursday? And I was like, yes, let's do it. I never took lead as the founder then. I allowed young people to help me build it, to help me have a conversation, to help me shape the conversations that we should have. Until today, so many people can attest. I am only a founder when I'm representing Tribeless Youth in a conversation, but when I'm speaking to these people, we own this space. So it is also a matter of allowing people to give their views. It is okay to see things in a different lens. It's okay not to just have, to think you have the monopoly of ideas, because none of us have the monopoly of ideas. Our ideas can always be made better by different people, by looking at things in different perspectives, by looking at things in someone else's view and their opinion. So I think this is what has helped me. So as you're creating your community, I know it's crazy and it's difficult, but make sure that you start with the people in your circles. Talk to them. See how many will try and help you. See how many will try and take that step. See how many will be willing to actually sacrifice for this, because it's a sacrifice. In most cases, we don't get money to do this. So it's a huge sacrifice that you do. So you have to get people, and trust you me, even the people in your circles will at times want to stab you. So it's never safe. But are you willing to take the risk? Are you willing to take up this opportunity and go out there and create these questions? So I know you guys are probably finding it weird. I don't write presentations. I allow people to get my conversations, because I believe from allowing people to guide this, then you're seeing things, you're learning also, but you're also seeing this in a different perspective, not the way you thought. And I'm also a believer that most of the research that is out here on Google and everywhere, it's not meant for us. It's not made for our black skin, our African skin. We face different challenges from everything else that is on the internet. And unless we also create our space, then trust you me, some of us will never do presentations. But the other question is, I hope that one is clearly answered, Cynthia. That was your question.
Yes.
Okay.
You just go on.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how do you decide the best idea to pursue? How do you have many things when you have so many things you want to do? It has barely done any. Start with one. Start with where your passion is. We all have ideas, trust you me. Like, for those who know me, I'm an idea bug. I give ideas left, right, and center. But you have to narrow down to where your passion is. We have so many ideas, but we are not passionate about all of them. So you have to narrow down to where your passion is. Evaluate yourself, reflect. If you have to reboot yourself the way we reboot our phones, do it. Take time off, think and rethink, and then understand what you want to do for the long run. I sometimes tell people I had so many options when I was trying to work with youth. I wanted to work with young single mothers who feel like they're in the dark. I wanted to work with young creatives. I wanted to work with young people. I wanted to work with women who wanted to run for political position. I still want to do all those things. I wanted to work on mental health because I know this thing is tough. It hit me when I was 19, and trust me, it was not easy. I wanted to do all these things, but at the same time, I had to narrow down to one thing. It doesn't mean I'm not doing all these things, but I narrowed down to the youth, and specifically between 18 to 35 years. And then I sat down and asked myself, what are the key issues that are affecting these people? And I developed 4 pillars. There was a political pillar. This includes accountability, leadership. It includes the positions we have, the transparency in our political parties. So I knew by this I can actually work with young women who want to vie for political seats. I then sat down and asked myself, if we look at the mental health space, what is lacking? And trust you me, there was no one who was having open conversations about mental health online. And that's how Tribeless Youth came up with digital mental space, where we felt like we needed to open up the space for people to just have a conversation about the reality of our mental health and also the reality of our mental facilities in Kenya, which unfortunately and shockingly, we only have 96 psychiatrists dealing with over 40 million people. And unfortunately, in Nakuru County, we only have one ward 8, for mental illness cases, meaning sometimes we have a psychiatrist, sometimes he's not there. We also have societal, it's stigma, societal stigma, yes. How do you deal with that? This then also shaped this program as itself. So you can start with an idea that you think is best, but see how you integrate all your other awesomeness. I call it madness because I feel like it's a frenzy of so many things. Just think critically, if I have this idea, how then do I integrate all my other madness in it? Allow people to help you shape this too, because you will not be working alone. It cannot be your idea. It has to be owned by the community you serve. It has to be owned by the people you work with, your team, the people you go to when you feel broken, the people you go to when you feel like you're getting to the dead end. They have to own the idea too. So I don't know if that also answers the question, but I think you can still do all these things you want to pursue, but first reflect, first sit down, first realize that It's more about passion, and then see how all your other ideas can be integrated into it. Something I've not said, and this is specifically biased towards young women, the digital space is difficult. You will be insulted, you will be harassed for being a woman, you will be called names for being a woman. You're a woman with a voice, people will tell you to first go get married, but you have to develop a thick skin because it's not easy. And people think like the only space that is so suitable for bullies is the online space, because you behind the keyboard, you can say anything and nobody knows where you are and nobody's seeing you. So we need to develop a skin that is thick and let all the negativity not divert you from your real cause. So focus on the goal, keep your head high, no matter what the society says. As long as you feel like you're doing the right thing, go for it. And there's so many things we can do as young people, trust you me. And I am a believer that in the social space, because I've had almost everyone here is in the social space, there are so many injustices right now. What if every single young person took up a role to fight for this? You know, we need to look at a way to also liberate ourselves, because we are still slaves. If we cannot economically liberate ourselves, then it will be very hard for us to do so many of these things that we speak about. So it is, I don't know, it's a 50-50 situation for us, but it's a hard and very easy situation at the same time. So we need to focus, we need to work together. Let it not be a competition. We are not in a competition. Let it be more about partnership. Let it be more about collaborations. Let it be more about seeing what every single young person has to offer. Because trust you me, in the generation of young people that we have today, everyone has something to offer, no matter how small you feel like it can be. But it is a bigger contributor to our end game. So I think, I don't know if there's anything I've left out, but maybe I want to touch on our politics of the day, which already they're planning on how to come and use us as young people. Maybe it's high time we mobilize. It's high time we mobilize ourselves. A referendum is coming, and the target voters are you, young people. Make sure you're in books with whatever is happening. Make sure you understand what is happening. Make sure when you're going out there, you're going out there as someone who is well learned and well educated about these things and what they want. Because I don't see how we are here ready to sacrifice over 40 billion to change a constitution that we've never implemented. I think those are things that we need to look at, and these are things that we need to fight for as young people. I don't know, Cynthia, I think I've preached enough.
Yes. Thank you so much, Shikoh. Maybe just before you leave, I have a question.
Yeah, I think I can buy in a few more minutes. I've seen a call saying that our meeting has been postponed to 12, so I think I'm still around.
Okay, great. So guys, if you have any more questions, there's an ask a question button at the bottom of your screen. So just write it there. Shikoh and I will be able to see it. So as I give you time for that, Shikoh, I just wanted to know, so we as young people, when we are getting into this space of community service and all that, we have the passion, we are so psyched up, we are naive, and then you get in and then you realize there's a system. Like there's a system that is so hard to change. And then at some point you start finding yourself in the system. Then you just relax and you're like, oh, well, it will never change.
We are going to go, can we start writing concepts like everyone else and get money?
Yes.
I am a believer that we have the power to change the systems. I'm one person who don't follow protocol. I don't know protocol at all. And I don't understand why someone needs to tell me, oh, you need to shut up until someone else speaks, and then you have the chance to ask questions. I will ask questions when I feel like I need to ask questions. The bigger problem is that we get into these things. I know we've seen so many young people who get into these things, are consumed by political parties, are given positions and then they disappear, or others are given big jobs with big organizations and then they just disappear and become like boardroom people. But I think we need to develop a culture of speaking out and being us before anything else. Why am I saying this? In the last 5 or 6 years that I've been working in with young people and trying to understand young people, I've gotten so many good offers, trust you me. I've gotten even offers of people telling me we can make Tribeless Youth a program under some big organization and they can get a lot of money to run it. And I was like, I'm not being reduced to a boardroom person. I am not. I am street made. I am for the streets. There is no one who's going to reduce me to a boardroom person. And even when it comes to Tribeless Youth itself, we make decisions as a team, and we sit down and say that, okay, there is these decisions that are supposed to be made in the boardroom, but can we throw it out to the people to see what the people think, the communities we serve think, or the people we are thinking that we want to go serve think. If it doesn't add any value to the people, just don't do it. It's not worth it. And trust you me, there's one thing people don't know, but passion pays. Somehow passion pays. Because there are times that I've worked for years without receiving even activity-based grants. But I somehow found a way to survive and make my team survive at the same time. So let us be, and I think one thing that makes these people bias or rather shut us is because we are not sure of where we want to go and we are not sure of what the cost is. So the moment we realize our strengths, the moment we know what we want to do, and the moment we know where the goal is. Because I'm like, if I set my goal in the skies and I know I want to get to the skies, no matter what I find out here, I will try crawl until I get there. You know, we need to get to that point. And I keep telling people there's nothing like saying the skies are our limits. We are going beyond the skies, and this is the youth, and this is the power. The power we have right now is that we still have our voices even in the online spaces when they shut down the civic spaces, because we can create our own space online and speak there. The best thing is the realization that if they try and bring their bureaucracy, we're able to create our own system. And that is because they rely on us. We are the majority. So at the end of the day, they will want to come back to us. And when they do, they will find our systems that they cannot come and corrupt. And that is one thing. And I will not lie to you all. Civil society is bureaucratical. There are systems in there that if you try handle them, you'll get tired and die, you know. So just don't try to keep up with their systems. Form your own system and they will look for you because they need you. So I think that is the much I can say. Cynthia, you asked, did you ever feel low or down and think that maybe what you're doing is somehow not, oh, I've given up 1,000,001 times, trust you me. I don't even need to finish that question. I have given up so many times. I have been at a point where I've broken down, I've cried, I felt like there's nothing I'm doing. I felt there is nothing that is so hurtful, like after having conversations with young people for 1 year, and then you see them in campaign trails, singing for the sellouts, dancing for the thieves that are stealing their lives and their futures. There is nothing more difficult than that. So every time I saw that, I would break down. Like young people we've been having conversations with are now insulting each other on WhatsApp groups because of Raila and Uhuru. It was sad for me. And I wanted to give up. I never wanted to go on again. But then I sat down and asked myself, why did I start this? What was the reason I started this? And I had to give myself a pep talk that, oh, my dear, this is not going to happen in the next 5 years or so. It is a journey. And once you start it, you need to start it for generations. So everything you're doing, make it look like a generational wealth. It is something that you leave to other generations, and it will even be there even after you leave. Because I keep telling people, after I'm 35, I'm not speaking for Tribeless Youth anymore. I need to look for young people who are going to take up the mantle. Because I will not be a youth, and I will not be here shouting at CS, the ITCS, what is his name again? Why am I forgetting his name? But the CS of IT, the one we are told is a young
Joe.
man. I don't know. I don't think he's a young man. Exactly.
Joe.
I don't think he's a young man at all. And I don't think I'll be throwing stones at him, telling him you're 40, you should not be talking on behalf of young people. And I'll be there at 50, 60 saying, oh, I am the founder and executive director of Tribeless Youth. That is not me. At 35, I exit. I accept. I have grown old. I need to move on to other things. So we need to create generational programs and generational organizations that we can leave to other young people to run, so that whatever we are doing can be interlinked between generations. So we can be at the back scenes and trying to guide and trying to show this is how we went, but we must not force an opinion on them. So yes, I've given up 1,000,001 times. It's not yet even over. I know I will still march towards some giving up sometime soon, but there is always that, why did you start this? I have this thing I do. I don't know if it will help. I have colored sticky notes, different colors. So I have green, pink, yellow, and blue sticky notes. What I do is when I hit the rock bottom, I use the pink sticky notes, and I write and stick them on my bedroom. Like, my bedroom is full of sticky notes. It looks weird, trust me, but they help me. They remind me where I started. So I have the first sticky note that speaks of what is my goal, what is my end goal by the time I'm 35, and then I have a sticky notes that remind me where I came from. What did you do when you're 23? What is the voice that you had, and how do you want to shape this voice? And then I have something I call my pillar, and my pillar is the 3 things that guide me. Every day when I wake up, I go to these sticky notes and read them and remind myself that this is why I've woken up today, that if I walk like this and a police is harassing someone, I have to intervene. That if I walk like this and money is being stolen, I have to shout and tell them it's being stolen, and it cannot work for me. So every time I do this, I feel like it reminds me of the reason why I wake up every day. And serving humanity is why I wake up every day. So I think I have given up, and trust you will give up so many times. That is no secret. It's not easy. But as long as you have the right people around you, you have the right mindset, and you know where you're going and where you started, what you're doing, then it's worth all the struggle. I see Emma saying great presentation. Thank you very much, Emma.
Thank you, Shikoh. So I have another question just as we wait for more. As a young person in this space, and especially yours tends to go political in many ways, how do you stay safe? Like you did to stay safe.
There is no staying safe. I am using my sister's phone because my 3 phones are tapped right now. I cannot access anything with them. There is nothing like a safe space. There's nothing like staying safe, but living with the community, allowing you to feel like you're part of the community. There's one thing I learned last year when I was receiving so many threats. I even had to move homes. I had to literally move homes thrice. And the reason was I used to have illegal surveillance everywhere. I'm a very vocal person and very political person, by the way. And I don't fear saying what I see. And at some point, I even got harassed in matatus, where even conductors said that I should be raped so that I shut up. It was sad for me and it was painful for me. But I learned one thing. The moment the community you serve accepts you, then you're safe. They cannot do anything to you. There is one thing I learned, that I'm the only young vocal woman, and actually the only vocal woman from Nakuru apart from the political women now. When it comes to the civil society, I am the only one who actually even stops them at meetings and tell them, this meeting is not going on if you don't have young people presenting their views here. And this put me sort of in a corner with so many people, because people did not like the fact that I'm speaking out. People did not like, because normally the place of a woman is in the kitchen, or rather that your place is just to listen. You don't have the right to speak. You don't have the right to stand up and say, you know what, this cannot be happening. But then taking up that, it put me in so many risks. I remember there's a day my mom was like, if you want to die, you're not going to die from here. You need to live. And I told her I'm not dying. At the end of the day, I knew I'm the last person you'll want to deal with right now. The community already accepts that this is the voice that we go to. So I built a community of people who believed in me, who believed in the cause, and a community of people who will protect me. And I think you guys have seen what we do online. When one of us is arrested, we go online and shout to tell them to release them. We say all the things that they're saying online. This helps because they know people are watching. this helps keep you safe. So the moment, and I have installed so many things on my phone, like the VPN, just to block locations sometimes. I have installed so many security softwares on my phone and my laptop, because at some point I feel like it's too risky, because when you're staying alone, I have to leave my son with my mom because I don't want to risk his life. So it's also a sacrifice. But like a good example, during the census, when I heard that people were using GPS, I had to move back to my mom's. So they counted me at my mom's, because I felt like it's risky to allow these people who are working for the government and are coming with the chiefs and these Nyumba Kumi people to your house. Then they will know how you live and how you lock your doors and everything. I was not going to allow that. So it's tricky. It's sad. It's sad that we have the right, but we still don't have the right to speak. It's sad that we have the freedom of expression, but we still don't have the same freedom. So, but what we need to do is build a community that speaks out. If we are speaking out as many people, then they can never pinpoint one person. Look at what is happening in the American demonstrations. They have tried to pinpoint one person who started the demos. They cannot, because it's a community. They build a voice together. So I think this is the same thing we need to do. Build a community around us that helps us in the cause, so that we can at least stay safe, but not 100% safe.
Yeah. And just let me know when you want to leave.
Okay.
So you're a young mom, and just before we had this session, we were talking about young people and getting into this space and not knowing who they are, and then that affects them mentally. How can young people stay mentally healthy and still be in a space where they create a community of social good?
So being in this course is hard to be like 100% mentally healthy, but there's something I've adapted. I take 2 days after every 2 weeks to just reflect, not even answer my phone, just stay with my son and learn a few things about him, and maybe read a book. Just take that moment that you need. And I will tell you this is what happens, and I'm sorry to say it this way, but when I was starting this, I found refuge in alcohol because my mental health was not okay. I used to take a lot of alcohol, especially after dealing with SGBV cases. It was too much. Like, you don't understand how people can be human and at the same time killing as much as they're killing, or fighting as much as they're fighting. For me, it was too much. And I found refuge in alcohol. Then I realized alcohol doesn't really clear my problem. I need to actually get